YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to Atomic Dom's Sobro Garage. It's been a while, I know, I apologize, but the whole virus thing has put every timeline I have on hold and pushed everything back. So it's crazy times, even including outside. Mother Nature decided to roll in a 32-degree temperature today. Anyway, looks like June, feels like February. All right, so it's an update on the T5 transmission. We're going to go out in the shop today. We're going to just try and get it up in there, get it fitted, mount it to the block, and we have to relocate the shifter, and we'll talk more about that in a hot minute. But first I wanted to cover my progress on the wiring harness for my Fox body. My ECU is nearly done. I've rewired and wired and rewired again, thanks to guy named Anthony on OHM this. Check it out if you've got a Fox body wiring harness and you want a comprehensive layout, how to like delete, add, restructure and reconfigure. Go check his channel out, it's pretty good. Anyhow, so here's what I've got going. We've replaced, put relays in, replaced a lot of things that were once reconfigured in the harness in a different way. So I've pulled a lot of things out, fused a lot of these relays. I'm going to add a fan, obviously, and I've got all these things marked. These are for the ECC, right? So these are all of my new relays, fuel pump, all that good stuff. So anyhow, I've got all of that, and the wiring harness is really thin. It's so much more manageable to work with now. Motor, but new transmission sensors. I got rid of the salt and pepper shakers and condensed everything through this one giant weather pack sort of configuration here. If that is right, I will be surprised, but I'm pretty sure it is. We'll see. That'd be pretty easy to screw up, I think. So anyway, that's where we are with the wiring harness. So let's go in the garage and let's go take a look at the T5 and see what we've got to get done with that. All right, T5 fans, Fox body fans, F100 Nation. I've got to get this thing going this year. That's all there is to it. I really wanted to do it last year and didn't get it done. But that's when I decided to do a complete motor, trans, rear end, front end swap. So it took a little time, especially when you do it completely by yourself. Not that I don't have friends that help, but I didn't have friends that help. So anyway, all right, so here we are in the garage, and we are going to get started on our T5. We're going to try and dry fit it. So we're going to put it up there. Last time I think we talked about putting in we put in our Tilton, our hydraulic throw-out bearing, which was kind of fun. So let me take a look at that real quick. All right, so here's what we did. Obviously it's just me. We put on this Tilton throw-out bearing. Gonna have to connect that, obviously, hydraulic. And there's a little stop that keeps it from rotating. Keeps it locked onto the shaft to where you need it so that these can exit the bell housing just how they need to. But anyway, all right, so what we're doing here with our T5 is I took this little piece and I cut it off, right? I don't know why I'm talking like that. This was how the original shifter sat. All right, I cut this off. I drilled a hole down here because what I need to do is I need to create a piece of linkage that comes from here, comes all the way probably to about here, and then goes up through the floorboard, okay? Stay tuned. Hopefully we can make some cool modification with the shifter that goes up. And this will all move in one fluid motion and rock over back and forth just the way it needs to. So we can get through our standard H pattern. I'm really considering a sequential shift pattern at this point, but we're going to give this a shot. All right, so real quickly, let's talk about some helpful tools, maybe. I don't even know if I'd call them tools, but stuff that might help you out on a cold floor. This is kind of a heavy-duty piece of cardboard, right? So I found these at the local auto parts store. Starts with an A. I'll say that. They may not give it to you, I don't know. But anyway, they come on pallets that their batteries are delivered on, or they return old batteries on. So if you catch them in the right day when batteries are low, they have these things laying around back there. Sometimes they're just in the way. And they might give them to you. So be sure to ask. What else? Also, I don't know if you can see under there. I don't have it really well lit. Let me get a different angle. As always, you're going to need some lighting, right? So get yourself an expandable light, rechargeable, that you can place just about anywhere. This one's really nice because I think it... I use it for many different things, you know, and in many different spaces. But anyhow, so while we're up here, might as well take a look at that way cool headliner. Yeah, I did that. It's my dog's playing poker. I had to put that up there and to get rid of that tapestry somehow. I thought this was a cool place to do it. So anyway, so we're gonna bring that T5 through here, through the cab. Also helpful tool is an old motorcycle stand, jack, lift, whatever you want to call it. I had one of those laying around, took the handle out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that transmission through here onto that, jack it up, get it lined up so that we can see exactly where we are, because I think that that shifter is probably going to hit somewhere about here, right? So I got to have that piece come forward and then up through the floor pan. So stay tuned. So with a little bit of awkwardness and manpower, I got the T5 down through the hole and onto the motorcycle rack, which is probably not the best way to do it because I lost a crap ton of fluid all over the floor. So lucky for me that I like those pungent smells, and I think the smell of transmission fluid is pretty awesome. But anyway, all right, so you can see where we are. We're not quite in the hole yet, and you can see where we are in height here. So let me go underneath real quick and show you how close that we are. That I can tell that shifting shaft is probably going to end up somewhere around in here, in this general 5-inch circle, maybe even closer to here, which wouldn't be too bad if it were, you know, up into the panel, this transmission cover panel, but we're not going to get that lucky. So we're going to have to make a new hole and a shifter thing, and this whole thing here might have to get enlarged because it looks like it's going to be, even cut down as it is, it's still getting pretty close. So let's go take a look at that real quick. Alright, so here's my handy dandy tossed away cardboard mat. Alright, let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? There she is, sitting on the transmission. Or I'm sorry, the transmission's sitting on the motorcycle rack. And you can see up there what that cutoff piece is not quite resting against the rack, but it's pretty, I mean against the bottom of the truck cab, but it's pretty close. Okay, so that all is going to have to get shifted into there. So we're close, but I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to dry fit this thing, so just because of that clearance. But something's going to have to, I got to get it bolted up and get it in. So we'll make something work. We don't know what, but we'll make something work. Alright, I'm going to try and shove this damn thing in there. There's probably going to be some language. So if your kids grow up watching my channel, that's not my problem. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just like that, bitches, as they say. Oh yeah, jack stands go on the tool list. You're definitely going to want jack stands. Well, I don't know. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, you're going to need it. But you guys probably have real tools, so no need to worry. Get that light out of the way. There Now we're just going to lift it just a bit so we can adjust our jack stand. I know what you're thinking. Atomic Dom, where might be your floor jack? Oh, that gets borrowed and doesn't get returned. You should know this. Oh man. All right. So, you saw it. Right there it was. We did it. I did it. I got it mounted. You've probably seen it all. So we just got it temporarily mounted with two bolts. Little fasteners are snugged up. Gonna probably snug that one up right there. Here's where we are on the bottom. Can we see that? Probably not. Probably too dark. Let me get some light under here. But we are right on the bed of the truck, right on that seam. I drew a circle up top. We can go up there and look at it. That whole channel is probably going to have to make some room for that trans cover and the new linkage to go in. But so far, it doesn't look too bad. So I'm happy with that progress. All right, let's go up top and look. All right. So if I can keep from dropping this phone and everything in the wheel, it'll be a successful day. All right, so here we are with the T5 install, trying to get that fitment for the shifter. So you can see it's right there. I mean, that's right snug up. And I cut that down. So you can imagine if it were really tall, what would happen. So it looks to be the initial mark was right here. This is where I drew the circle where it was initially hitting, but after we got it all bolted in, that's now moved to this area. All right, so I believe that the shifter, right, that lever hits right here. Okay, so this is all going to have to be modified, raised up so that linkage can flow across the top here and come out somewhere around here. All right, so that's where we're going to be. I'm guessing I can utilize some sort of, I don't know, I've seen people use tie rods, the tie rod end that sticks up so they can get that mobility, and they fashion some sort of bracket and then attach it to these fasteners here, which I can do that too. So we'll do something, hoping to make it look a little more pro than the tie rod end thing, but that's whatever. So anyhow, there's the hole. Here's where I believe our shifter's hitting, right here. So now to take some measurements and to MacGyver something. So I keep hearing the rumors of the S10 has a tail housing for the T5 that throws the shifter from here to here, which would be absolutely dead on balls, right? But there's a lot of modifications, and there's a lot of rods and stuff that have to change inside here to get that housing on there. From what I understand, I don't know, I've never done it, but I could see where the S10 T5 housing would be beautiful. I mean, the only thing you'd have to cut would be just a hole for your shifter lever to come out of, instead of building this linkage that moves it forward. But we don't have to move it nearly as forward as I thought. I mean, I was thinking originally way up here, but I'm thinking we can get by in this section right here. So you can kind of see the shape of my car or truck. This F100 has been a projecto. So work on wiring the headlights, trying to get the signals and all that stuff to go. As I took the headlights and everything completely out of the harness. All right, so it's a separate harness of its own. Let's see what other kind of cool shit I got in here I can show you. Got a battery. I like drawing, so you know, trying to lay out my signals, get it all figured out. It's my 95 amp install kit, and I think what you're gonna like the best out of all this is not that. the hell are you doing with a giant cigar box, Dom? Well, I will tell you what I'm doing with this giant cigar box as soon as we get it open. All right, kids. I'm gonna let you in here. Tickets without tickets. Yeah, it houses all of our fuses and our relays for our signals and our high beams and low beams and fuel pump and electric fitting and all that bullshit. So it's all in there. Anyway. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna kill it for the night. I think I got it that far in. I might start taking some measurements and tinkering around some stuff. And unfortunately, due to government, society, distance regulations, whatever the going on in our local county, the steel store is still closed. So until the 15th, can't go down there and find any steel in the drop shop. So that's kind of out. I refuse to go to the hardware store where they charge, 1,000 times more than what the steel shop does. So, and the steel shop's local, so always support local when you can. All right, I think that's all I've got now. So thanks for tuning in to Atomic Dom's Sobro Garage. The fun says, hey. Rest in power, Henry Winkler. All right, that's all I got, man. So stay healthy, stay 6 feet away, and get to work on that F100. Later.